and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare in evidence a moment ago. Fire ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
It was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he's got this down to the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. Tyreek Hill from last week. There are the numbers. Comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator this week? He watched that game last week, and I know his first thought was, we have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Cincinnati. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
On second down, Davenport. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Hey, tight.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been... And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. The numbers for Mixon last week, 16 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. The 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team is... And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Yellow. Switch. Exit. There we go. 37's the Mike. Mike 37. So we got man.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Flush to his right. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. Now, that play was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It was Breland Speaks getting home to the quarterback that time.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down now, Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got Green. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Chiefs offense. It's now making their way back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you had a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Check 99. Check 99. 15. I don't need to. Why? Who? Let's put
2nd and 5 now. Mahomes under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He is going to find Hill here. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. So they went gutsy. Instead of getting some space with a conservative run, they throw the football at a big 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, that's just what I said, wasn't it? Did I say they were going to throw the ball?
Revisionist history.
Ah, that's right. Well, I took a shot.
On first down, Davenport. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's a 2nd and 7. He completes it to Boyd. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He'll look to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. This is Mixon on the draw. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll drop the throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting in the field. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Butker on for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. That's complete to the tight end Sample. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Now back to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Here's Mahomes to throw. And going deep for Hill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Here's Tyler Newsome now. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bengals drive about to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get started out in Denver, and it's the Broncos who are out in front. Deshaun Hamilton, a touchdown reception. From there, we head east to Minnesota to check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Marquise Lee, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. And he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. First throw now for the backup Manning. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though. Yeah,
he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss. 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well. Try to make it 9 in a row. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. And to give this time to the tailback. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. Davenport, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a first down following a gain of 3. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes to Thompson on the screen. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This is Thompson trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mahomes going to throw. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 98 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Here we go. 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Smoke. Bring it.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Butker on for the PAT. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Manning, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Dorian O'Daniel, the linebacker from Clemson.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Manning. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Yellow. I'm going. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Collect. 36. Hey, Sunday, on Sunday, on Sunday, on Sunday. Charlie. Okay.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes rolling to his left. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Let's go. Let's go.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Yellow. I'm going. Hey, 15. Hey, Ripple.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And he's got it. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Davenport, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
General, West. 15.
Mahomes now to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. In for the score. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Manning to Mixon on the check down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. To throw is Manning, and he's got his man on the out route. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From midfield, here's Manning. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Manning. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big 2nd half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime, obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Kansas City, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.